The motto for the London Olympics is Inspire a Generation. Some athletes are taking that to the next level. For the first time ever, a number of conservative Muslim countries are sending female athletes to compete. And as the CBC's Nulla Ayed tells us, the impact will be felt not just by the Olympians, but by a generation to come.
When the world finally trains its eyes on this young woman, she will be living what was once unthinkable. Bahia Al-Hamad never imagined her marksmanship would catapult her to the world stage, and yet she will now be one of the first Qatari women ever to take a shot at Olympic gold. On her sturdy shoulders rests the weighty mission of making history.
يعني طموحي مثل أي رياضي إنه هو يبي ياخذ ميدالية.
Like any athlete, my ambition is to get a medal. People are expecting us to achieve something. I hope we don't disappoint them.
يعني إن شاء الله ما نخيب ظنهم.
For Al-Hamad and other women of conservative Muslim countries, it is a giant leap. Islam doesn't prohibit women's sport, but in some countries, cultural concerns have left them out of sport and so much more. Including them now raises both risks and expectations. London, home of the Games this year. Here, too, there are high expectations. This isn't the Olympics. But in many ways, the annual Muslim Scouts Games are just as important. It's at events like this that future star athletes are discovered, nurtured, and given a taste of the Olympic dream. Watch 12-year-old Mariam Chima at the high jump, and you get the feeling her Olympic dreams may not remain dreams for long. She's always been encouraged. All she's had to do is keep aiming higher, and the medals keep coming.
Yeah, I do feel quite privileged because not other people have that opportunity. So, yeah.
We showed Mariam and her friends a picture of Bahia. They don't recognize her, but they do register the significance of her bid.
Are you surprised it's the first year that Qatar is sending somebody?
Yeah.
It's surprising, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's the year 2012.
Even the last holdout, Saudi Arabia, where women aren't even allowed to drive or travel alone, buckled in the face of international pressure. And despite actively discouraging female sport at home, 2 women will represent it abroad.
Being one of the first women for Saudi Arabia to be going, it's such a huge honor, and I hope that it can really make some good strides for women over there to get more involved in the sport.
Sarah Attar is the American daughter of a Saudi father. That alone isn't unusual, but she's far from Olympic caliber. Her best time ever is 25 seconds slower than the person who finished dead last at the Beijing Olympics. Surely that speaks either to a lack of options at home or badly disguised lip service, says this Olympic historian.
Allowing these 2 Saudi women to compete in the Olympics is just a gesture to please the international community. It's not like they're suddenly going to open up gyms, women's football teams, soccer clubs in Saudi Arabia.
And because of Saudi rules, you also won't be seeing Attar competing in attire like this. Qatar, meanwhile, eager to host the Games one day, is suddenly sending 4 homegrown athletes: a swimmer, a runner, table tennis player, and Bahia, who started training seriously 5 years ago. Her fame has triggered interest among other women back home, but women's sport is still only a generation old. Ask her manager.
We do not begrudge this generation, but when we see them, we wish in our days that these opportunities were open to us.
Even now, all 4 Qatari female Olympians will be there on wildcards. But Al-Hamad only missed actually qualifying by half a point. She feels she deserves to be there, and though it's a long shot, may yet end up on the podium.
If I don't get the medal, then it's enough that I participated in this competition. This develops women's sports in Qatar. If a Qatari woman enters the sports arena and she's seen getting medals, even the families of other girls will allow their daughters to enter sports, and the girls are more encouraged.
Yeah, go and get the shopper as she pushes through. If she comes
It is all about encouragement in Qatar as it is in the fields of South Yorkshire. Dana Abdul Karim is a high school and national coach. She knows the importance of role models.
Lovely, Chloe. Is anybody else desperate for a hole?
She's been one, even more so after she was chosen to carry the Olympic torch in her hometown. She says it's time for women in hijab to be seen at the Olympics, even if they need help getting there.
You have to open a door at some point, and if the opportunity's been denied previously for them to prove themselves, then you put them straight on the platform.
In the West, the struggle to get women on the podium ended decades ago, shortly before the tug of war ceased to be an Olympic event. Still, for these girls in particular, the inclusion of once excluded women, even a century later, prompts inspiration.
And to see a woman like that, with the Arab spirit and a hijab on her head, a scarf on her head, running and doing her Olympics, it's just amazing.
Al-Hamad is certain other Qatari girls will follow her lead. She knows well how closely she will be watched.
I just tell them to watch Qatar and what they will accomplish in the world.
When the world does get an eyeful of Bahia Al-Hamad, it will be at the opening ceremonies, where she will be her country's flag bearer. Nala Ayed, CBC News, Fafikon, Switzerland.